folks get on here. I'm early. Crazy. Hey, look. We just started. So we're going to be doing probably, we're going to go with Maleficent first. And then, we're going to do Batgirl. Woo. We are once again joined by my assistant, Connor.
Greetings.
He is the Resistance.
If that's true, then I'm going to be scared when I get that face scar. The claw comes right through my face.
Well,
at least I'm expecting it.
Yeah, right? Get it from lack of work. Let's set that open and see what I did last time. Ooh. Alright. I'm going to prepare my brushes and whatnot while we are waiting for folks to come on. What are you looking for?
I'm going to find that sketchbook.
Oh.
For orders just in case.
Let's see. I'll grab you. I hope everybody's doing good today. Doing well. I can use this brush. Slowly putting my brushes. Oop, this one's not good. Let's do that. Slowly mixing my brushes in with Tommy's. It's a little weird still, like, you know, a little weird still, but Connor wandered off, so I have no idea where he is. There he is. Alright. Anyone on yet?
We've got 2 viewers right now.
Hi, 2 viewers.
Oh, we got 4.
Ooh, we're fancy.
We got some returning people. Lucky J Studios and Sith Lord Wilson.
Hey, kids. Hey, Adam. I'm going to do this Maleficent first, and then I'm going to do your Batgirl. Although I've been painting all day, so.
He said, hey, Sammy. And Lucky Studio said, hey, too.
So I'm doing something a little different. I got the airbrush working, which is good. Here's my primary gouache. Here's my primary gouache color. Let's put some.
Adam said he's doing all good.
Awesome. So I put out some gouache to kind of cover over some of this. Adam, I think your mom needs a Sammy Maleficent. So for those of you artists out there wondering what I'm using gouache, which is like opaque watercolory paint in Brilliant Violet. Because I want to cover over this gray and make it pop really well.
And using that will help not let the ink bleed. Or since it had a long time to set, it should be all good.
Depends on how much water I use. But no, I want to, using the opaque watercolor or the gouache, it's going to cover the gray better. So I only have to do like 1 coat of this as opposed to multiple of the watercolor. See the difference?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't want the gray to really show through, you know, in the background at all. So I'm using this. I have been painting since 10 o'clock this morning, getting projects and stuff done. My arm fucking hurts in the same place that Tommy's did. But he didn't complain, nor am I. Just saying. I now understand my husband's pain. So how's everybody doing? Any fancy weekend plans? Am I blocking?
The brim of your hat is a little in the way, but it's not that bad. Lucky J asked, does painting as a full-time job take out some of the love? If so, is there anything you do to find that love again?
Take out the love? Yeah. Yeah, it does. But, you just find a different way of loving, I guess is a way to say it. You know, I've been in the this industry for 8 years now. And, when I came into it as Tommy's studio assistant, I was a huge comic book nut. I got comics every month, set aside religiously, and now it's work. But it depends on the person. You know, for me, I look at it and it's work. You know, so we went to a store, Connor and I picked up a black and white comic book, and was like, oh, and as soon as I looked at it, I was like, oh, there's anatomy issues there, and there. But I think it depends on the person, because I know some comic creators that, you know, still love comics and still collect and read comics. Most of the upper echelon, like, you know, where Tommy was 30 plus years, they don't read comics at all. Tommy's never really read a comic, but he was in the industry. You know, Michael Golden doesn't read comics. You know, I'm sure a lot of the guys don't even touch it, because it's the love of, you can't be a fan and a creator at the same time, you know. But it does take out some of the love, but, you know, then you put yourself into perspective and say, okay, well, you know, I sat here painting all day, but I got to fucking paint all day. I got to paint, you know, Kermit the Frog and painted Batman, and I'll take that over a cubicle job any day of the week. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Alright, the OK Dooker said, hey Sammy, how goes it? Hope you're doing
Hey brother,
well.
doing well. I am indeed doing well. Just I might as well just leave that fucking thing of paint out. Didn't I leave that out? What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. I'm doing well. You know, getting back into the groove of creating after not really doing much for the last 4 or 5 years. But I'm hanging in there. Pulled my girl panties up and started painting again. Thanks for joining.
Lucky J said, could be working shit jobs.
That's right. That's right. Digging ditches, as Tommy would say. Or working in a movie theater.
Exactly.
You know, I would take my shittiest, most exhausting day of this over any other job. Any other job. You know? Because, you know, at the end of the day, I would be doing this, you know, whether I was getting paid or not. And when you go to work, it's something you love, not gonna lie, some days are still work, but it's the quality of the work, the quality of your life that matters. You know, and like I said, I would take this over, you know, I would take this any day of the week over any other job. Because this is what I love doing. It's what I've been doing since I was a little kid. I started drawing when I was like 5 years old.
So back on the previous topic, would you say that sometimes finishing a piece kind of gives you that love back for painting? Like you spend like the entire day working on a big piece, and then when you finally wrap it up at the end, would you say like you kind of...
Yeah, it gives me a sense of accomplishment. Yeah. I like sitting at the piece and looking at it and like, yeah, I fucking did that. You know, like, I like the sense of accomplishment. Which is funny because, you know, before I met Tommy, I kind of suffered the same fate as many an artist, and I always had a terrible time finishing pieces. Always. You know, and I mostly just drew. I never really painted, like, to fruition. You know, like, I threw some watercolor down here and there. But
nothing was ever finished.
Nothing was ever finished, you know? And now I'm like, I don't even think about it, you know, because over the last 8 years, like, that was the job. Like, it had to be finished. That's the way it was, you know? So it's a very interesting change of dynamic going from what I guess would consider hobbyist, you know, to professional. Because until you start getting published and you start really understanding the work, you're nothing more than a hobbyist, you know, in my opinion.
Zenthno said, just popping in for a minute to say hey.
Yo, what's up, brother?
And then Purple Mom 6 said, hi, pretty Sammy. And she added,
Purple Mom 6.
Tim, Julie, and Jasmine are partially here having some technical problems.
Hi. I got the whole Wilson gang. Painting this for you, Julie. I had a funny feeling you'd be on tonight. But I gotta say, in terms of does it take the love out, you know, you're gonna have bad days with any job, you know. You have bad days with the best job in the world. Like, I think this is the best job in the world. And I have shit days with this. But then there's days where this is the best job in the world, you know. I mean, it's one of those things where you take it as it comes, because no job is perfect, and no job doesn't come without its share of problems. But there's your crazy match, the crazy that you want to be a part of. For instance, like I worked in video games, you know, for 7 years. Worked on some, you know, third party. I was subcontracted on some high-end games. And that's what I went to college for. I wanted to do video games so much. You know? And is that better?
Mm-hmm. That works.
And you know, I worked in it, and I learned that I can't fucking stand that industry. I just can't. It was a cool as shit job, but it wasn't my type of crazy. You know, even though I went to school for it, still paying my stupid student loans off.
So what was it about it that made it like...
It
was just like people or the atmosphere?
I didn't like the people. I didn't like the atmosphere of the companies that I was working with. I had a lot of piss and vinegar, and the video game industry is very corporate, and I am not a corporate person. You know, I'm just not a corporate person. So, like, calling your supervisor out on the fact that they're taking a you know, a box puzzle from another video game is not the smartest idea. And I am not a very blunt person. And I think, I'm not sure about it now because, I mean, let's see, I worked in the gaming industry like mid 2000s. You know, like I started like 2007. No, I started like 2004. 2005.
So kind of around like the period where like a lot of
So about 5 years actually, not 7.
So around like where like the modern day heavy hitter video games just started picking up.
Yeah. And you know, the thing that was really shitty about it was that I have a degree in video game design. And they would pick a-holes over me that had a music degree for level design. And it's like, I actually went to school for it, but you're like getting this guy, and it's a boys club. It was a boys club. Again, I don't know what the industry is like now, because I'm not in that industry, thank God. That's just not my cup of tea. So,
but in the years that you started,
in the years that I was in, it was very much a boys club, and it was who you knew. And like, I could have a badass professional, you know, badass portfolio, but if I wasn't willing to suck up and play the boys game, I didn't get the job, you know. And that's the hard part. And they oftentimes looked for, I think the men subconsciously looked for women that were meek and compliable, you know, that were uber nerds, you know, and not loud, boisterous, and obnoxious and overly opinionated. So, you know, one of the reasons why I work so well in this, you know, in this industry was my flaw in the last. But, you know, I grew up reading comics, and this is my kind of crazy. So the same thing could be said that somebody in the gaming industry or the comic industry hates comics, but they work in the gaming industry. It's the type of person, I think.
So would you say you kind of got into it just for the love of video games?
Yeah, I loved playing video games. I actually always wanted to do comic books. And I always wanted to do comics, but I loved playing video games in high school, and I loved the art. I loved concepting, you know, whether it's concepting for a movie or whatever. And I went to I wanted to do it for video games. So I went to a school thinking that school would be the right school for me to, you know, to tackle, so to speak. And it very much wasn't. It was kind of not a very good school, but I didn't know any better. And so I went to school for it, and I learned what I learned. And a lot of what I learned, well, a lot of what I use in the business, you know, I actually learned in that school, so I can't fault my education. I just am not using it how it was intended. I really didn't like I didn't like what I had to do to get to concepting. Because if you didn't know somebody or you weren't like super uber badass, you know, initially, you couldn't go into concepting. You had to pay your dues. And I hated, for lack of a better way to say it, I hated modeling. I hated it. You know, 3D modeling. I hated it. It was boring as shit. And I wanted to be concepting, but my concepting skills weren't enough at the time to do what I wanted. So I was a texture artist on video games for a while. Third party. And then I got tired of that and switched to illustration, which is how I met Tommy, because I wanted to be a better conceptor. And he was holding a class at a local art store, which I'm sure most of you have heard this story many times. But he was holding a class at the local art store. And he cut me off to get to the parking lot with his military Jeep. And I shouted at him when I first met him, like, totally geeked out on him. This is the paraphrase. But, you know, once I became his studio assistant, I started learning everything I wanted to learn, and I realized that this was the job that I wanted. So I went after it. Along with the short version. Let's put some purple in here. It's making this boring. There we go. There's some of the purple gouache in here just to round out this color a bit better. Quiet night.
Our Lucky J Studio said student loans are forever.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Thanks, America. But yeah, that's my quick and dirty way of how I switched one industry with another.
Poodle Mama said, just got here. Good to see you again.
Hello, lovely lady. How are you? So if you guys are wondering what kind of colors I'm using on this, I'm mixing I think it's Prussian, no, indigo blue, indigo and bone black, which is like a brownie black watercolor. Excuse me. And then I've mixed in some of this purple gouache so that I can kind of cut into this a little bit better. Make it a bit more opaque. I'm using some white nylon brush that I pulled from the sea of brushes. It's a filbert. I always say it like that. Filbert. You kind of have to.
So for the gouaches, does it, when you mix other watercolors with it, is it kind of, since they're both watercolor kind of base paints, is it kind of, they blend well together? Or?
Yeah.
So it's almost like you
gouache is pretty much the only thing that it does is it makes it more opaque. So it just and it adds some depth to it. Mm-hmm. So you see the difference between the depth of what's around her face here and here, because I have opaque watercolor there, so you don't see through it as much. So you see how super
it's pretty thick and, like, as you said, opaque.
Yeah, it's very opaque. You can't really see through it. And this is actually the first one that I'm kind of field testing it on, because I didn't know how I would like it, you know, doing the remarks and stuff like that. I just didn't know how it would react with the techniques that I've been using. So she's my guinea pig, because she's not a very layered, complicated kind of character to paint. So, you know, I want it to pop. So I want to just make sure that it does.
Any chances she'll be getting the glitter treatment like Harley did?
Yeah, actually.
On the one eye?
On the one eye. I like that it's only on one eye, and nobody even noticed until you pointed it out. Yeah, because Tommy, when he did black and whites like this, he painted with a lot of flat, like shadows, flats, like this. Mm-hmm. So, like, you could clearly see where she is, you know what I mean? But there's no delineation that, obviously that's her collar, but there's no delineation that, boom, her jaw stops here and the collar goes that way. So it's one of the other reasons why I'm kind of using the gouache to kind of help kind of mimic that in the original drawing. And if you notice, I'm actually painting, like, my brush strokes are where the direction in which things go. So her, like, her, you know, that's obviously her neck and that kind of thing. Instead of just like, you know. It's one of the reasons why I'm using this, because it's a thinner brush. And it can hold a decent amount. I think it's like an acrylic watercolor brush. I don't know. It is what it is. And I'm kind of just mixing the paint as I go. I'm not mixing a huge amount. So, just to kind of create interest and variety instead of just blackety black, 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 black. So we've been watching the Orville the last couple of days, like on lunch breaks and whatnot. And has anybody been watching it? Like, what do we have any opinions on it? Before I voice my opinion on it.
It's definitely a new ballpark for Seth MacFarlane. Or in better terms, an entirely different sport.
Well, you know,
it had its comedic feels and a lot of, like, the jokes that you'd expect from
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, and then it has a strong turn with the seriousness.
Yeah, it's oddly serious. Like, it's humorous. Like I kind of expected, like, Family Guy in space, but not like. Not that type of humor, but that amount of humor. Yeah. You know, because that's...
the amount that you could push with a realistic feel to it.
And this is, like, oddly serious with, like, real-life lessons. It's kind of weird.
And as you said earlier, it's genuinely taking its cues from...
yeah, Next Generation.
The older Star Trek series.
Yeah, very much. With the super textured, you know, cloth. Means that it's an alien, you know, alien fabric. Apparently quilting means alien fabric. In case you didn't speak Star Trek-y.
I know one thing that genuinely surprised me was how well the special effects were.
Oh yeah. The special effects are actually quite excellent. Yeah. I really like the ship design too. Like, they really didn't cheeseball it out with that kind of stuff, which is great. I'm really happy about that. But again, it's like oddly serious. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, for how well everything's put together, I'd strangely find myself picking up the copy of Art of the Orville.
Yeah, it's got a great art direction.
Should add this isn't a sponsor for the Orville.
It's got better art direction than fucking the other movie I just saw. Blade Runner. You know what kind of bothers me is, like, people, you know, you can have a dystopian future without gray. just constant, overwhelming gray. And that bothers me that, like, the gray is lazy. It's just lack of thought, in my opinion. I mean, but then again, you know, where the fuck is my movie? It's coming, don't you worry.
And also, that's such a big field now for, like, doing dystopian
Well,
kind of
it's
worlds.
popular.
Yeah. There are people that actually pull it off pretty well.
Sure. Yeah, there's a bunch of there's a lot of good dystopian kind of movies, you know, with a good feel to it.
To actually bring color to a world that's supposed to be.
Well, look at the first Blade Runner.
Oh yeah. No,
that had excellent art direction. You know, and the world doesn't change that much in 30 years.
Sith Lord Wilson said, "Hey Sammy, Mom Wilson is wondering if anybody has purchased the Maleficent that you are painting currently."
No. It is all hers. The 11 by 17 ones are 100. This is 11 by 17. So if she wants it, it's all hers. I'm okay with that. It's not like I purposely did it knowing that she'd probably be watching.
And he said she would love to have it.
Alright. Do you want me to mail it with yours? If so, just PayPal me the 100. Otherwise, she can call me and I'll take her credit card over the phone. Whatever she wants. Actually, what I was thinking about doing is, should I ruin the surprise? Or just, like, be amazed when I get there?
I guess. Just save it for...
Alright, fine.
Save it for the surprise.
I get all excited. I feel like Tommy sometimes. I think that's why Tommy was like, so I plan on doing this and this, right? It's going to be cool, right? I get the excitement.
Yeah, Adam said, yes, please, I will assist her with the PayPal.
Okay.
Just amaze us.
Amazing away. Connor, what color scheme is this? It's pretty blatant what color scheme this is.
Cool color scheme?
That cool color scheme. Oh, wow, that education, man. That was Nicholson's education right there. Let's try that again with an actual art term this time. You can do it. I believe in you.
I'm waiting for the Jeopardy music to start playing.
No, you know what it is. You're just not thinking. Think about it. It's okay. You don't have to answer me like right off the bat. Think about it. Look at the colors I'm using. What colors have I used so far?
Purple, green, and then you used indigo.
What's indigo?
Blue.
Okay. You've got your answer right there. What kind of color scheme?
Cold color scheme? I don't have... That's why we're going over the colors schemes next week.
What is it next week? What is the color scheme where you use 3 colors in a row on the color wheel?
Analogous.
So what color scheme am I using with the colors that you've just stated?
Analogous.
There you go. Fancy, right?
It's like I know a thing or two. Or don't.
No. La la la. Will you go get me my energy drink and throw that away? Thank you. Now. So I really like doing this. You know, it makes me feel Makes me feel good to paint Tommy stuff. Makes me happy. That Harley Quinn is still up for grabs that I did last night. Thank you. That came out cool. What do we got? I gotta let that area dry a bit, so let us go in with... Let's go with this bad boy. Oh, there's a new one. Sweet. I was good. That was my first one of the day. Did I have one yesterday? I don't remember. Yeah, I did.
You did. I feel like the answer should always just be assumed as yes. There should never be a day where Sammy goes without her mean bean.
Tommy hated me drinking them. He did.
Maybe that's why stuff's been falling off the walls.
Good. I mean, if it keeps them around, I'll keep fucking drinking it. It's fine with me. I'll just take off the shitty years of my life at the end. Did Maleficent have green eyes? Purple? Well, they're green now. I have no idea what color, but they're going to be green now. And if they're purple, I'll go back in and change it. What color were her eyes, folks? Let's try that. This does not want to just move. Anyone?
Purple Mom says that her eyes would turn green when she's casting a spell.
Oh, then she'll be casting a spell then.
Food Mama said Tommy did them as green on mine.
Oh, okay, green it is. He loved ladies with the green eyes. Ow! Move that over. No, don't. No, don't. There, that's better. Thank you. Sorry, I was fighting with the gun that's under the table.
Star Treasure Fit said, I looked it up and it says she had mostly green eyes or greenish gold.
Interesting. Thank you for the info assists. You know some people on here, Julie? Alright, let's get this perfect red. How's your tattoo?
Pretty good. How's yours? Still itch?
Nope. It only itches if I don't, like, put lotion on it after a while. Then it itches like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, Purple Mom said, yep, I took that picture.
Purple Mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Poodle Mama.
Nope.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, and your Jasmine's up here too. She's on the refrigerator too. The people that are on our fridge with all the family stuff with the other wieners, that's the Wilsons. So Adam and Purple Mom, which is Julie and Tim and the kid, the younger kid, the youngest kid. I'll remember his name in a minute. Nick? Yeah. I'm probably wrong. Nick, right? That's the youngest one. She's probably gonna laugh like, Sammy!
Poodle Mama said, good thing I'm not Purple Poodle Mama.
Yeah, right? It's so confusing!
Yeah, and Purple Mom said, Nick.
It's probably Nick actually typing, and they're all watching. I'm like, what's your name again? The kid. That one, yeah. I've actually really enjoyed painting these. They really makes me feel good. It's been so long since I've painted, you know, that I've done any real art. I was telling one of our friends that, you know, I was a little upset last night after stream, you know, because Tommy wasn't here, and, you know, I know he would have been like, you know, he would have been proud of what I did last night, you know, skill wise and whatnot, and that I actually, you know, came back on and all that. But our friend said that wherever Tommy is, he's looking down like, yeah, that's my wife, right there, that's my wife. You know, look at that, that's my wife. You know, all super proud, bragging about me, which is true because he bragged about me constantly. He did.
Star Treasure Fit asked, are you using watercolors tonight?
Yes, I am actually. I'm using a mix between watercolor and gouache, but like last night, I'm using the Kuretake Gansai Tambi, which is a mouthful and also written under where the video is in the channel info. And then I'm using Turner Design Gouache for the purple. I've got white here somewhere, which is, I think, Holbein. Yeah, Holbein gouache as well. The gouache is just, like we were saying before, like an opaque watercolor. So that way I can get these bold, you know, bold shapes and, bold shapes and bold, you know, just create some stuff.
Mosh Wolf said, hey.
Hey, Emily. How's my pretty girl? Yeah, look at those lips.
And my niece, Jessa, I guess, is watching. She wanted to know if you could say hi to her.
Hi, niece. What?
Jessa.
Jessa. Hello, Jessa.
And Mosh Wolf said she's doing good.
I'm sorry that you have Connor as an uncle.
And she said Mosh Wolf is working on some art and relaxing.
Nice. What you working on? All right. Oh, that's got to dry. Let's see that. And let that dry. Ooh, that cracked. That felt good. That felt good. And we're going to try this. So I bought myself a fancy brush pen. Can they see that?
Mm-hmm.
Here. So, fancy brush pen. It's got cherry blossoms and Mount Fuji.
Mosh Wolf said, one of my Inktober pieces. I wanted to color it before calling it finished.
Cool. I think it's interesting how the Inktober thing, you know, got legs and ran. But if you're like a professional artist, there's no way you can do the Inktober thing. I was always like, yeah, totally, I'm gonna do the Inktober, and then like, yeah, but I'll buy.
You don't have a month. You have life.
Yeah, I don't have the month to participate in that. Get black now, please.
Structure Fit said or asked, did you find a place for Mia's mini canvas painting?
I did. Oh, it's Tracy. I did. It is actually, I think, on the other side of this camera over there. It's the one that's leaning back there. Mm-hmm. On the other side. This way. Next to the skull. Yep, that's it. Here you go. This is Mia's. Here's Mia's painting that I requested. Oh, yes. I put it outside of the splash zone so it didn't get didn't get any splashing on it. Just like Tommy's Kermit. Here, would you put that back? But I got it. I got it. Let's see. Come on. Come on, brush pen. Yes. Look at that black. Cosmetic. Okay. Alright, lovely Maleficent. Let's get you some drama. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't want to do this one first. Hold on. Jump the gun. Fooled you all. Just kidding. Maleficent can't be Maleficent without eyeshadow.
Purple Mama said, I'm so excited to have Sammy/Tommy piece to add to my Tommy collection. My dining room, Tommies anxiously await her arrival.
There you go. Talk about drama right there. Always paint girls with makeup. That was a rule of thumb for you, Connor. It just adds so much more drama, see, to the piece.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing for nothing, but most of us ladies are not natural pure-skinned beauties. Not unless $100 at Sephora has anything to say about it.
Well, if I've heard anything from Sierra, I don't think that $100 might get you that far.
In Sephora?
Unless their prices are generally decent.
No. No. No way. They cater to the vanity of women. They make a lot of money doing it. There we go. There's our beautiful Maleficent. Much better. Back to brush pen. Alright. Let's put my finger in her makeup and move on. Yeah, doing these, you know, is actually helping me get back into the groove of painting and all that fun stuff. Wow, look at how black this ink is. Look at that. I got paint on there. There we go. Now you've got Sammy spit on your Maleficent. It's a commodity. Am I blocking this or am I good?
No, you're good.
Man, that black. Whew. I love Sumi ink. Just look at that black. Just, it's delicious. It's very chewable. What? You laughing at my analogies? Chewable black? I'm excited for doing the Batgirl. That Batgirl is such a cool Batgirl. Before I do that part over eye. So I'm doing good with the Strathmore stuff. With doing getting sketchbooks. I've been getting sketchbooks from people. I got one from, where does she live? Crap. I think it might be Wisconsin. The big long one that's over there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Wisconsin? From Wisconsin? So I got one from Wisconsin. I got some coming from New York. I got another one from Plainsfield, is it Plainsfield, Jersey, or Pennsylvania, where they play the Little League World Series? So that was cool. And they gave me a pin from the Little League World Series. So that was neat. I got some coming potentially from the Middle East. Not the Middle East, India. I guess that's not really Middle East. That's India. I got a couple coming from Australia. Man, this brush pen is just fucking epic.
Purple Mom said, Sammy and Mia have inspired Jasmine. She just grabbed her Tommy Castillo sketchbook and is creating with you.
Awesome! You should draw me something so I could put it up in the studio. I would love that. And Tommy would love that. Ghost Tommy, that is. Alright, I'll let that dry a little bit more. Let's get these eyelashes, my lady. The envy of all. I would kill if I had eyelashes like this. That's why she's such a villain.
The longer the lashes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She flaunts it. She's like, oh, I know. Yeah, I was showing Chris Moreno some of the stuff that I was doing with like the Wolverine and such. And I texted it to him and I was like, think I learned a thing or two? And he's like, hell yeah. It was really great. It was awesome. I'm just surprised at how much, not how much, but I'm surprised at just how easily, I think is a better term. Yeah. Like how easily I am doing this despite lack of practice. Does that make sense?
It's just like everything.
Just like it never left.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hadn't stopped for 5 years. Like it's boom, it's all right there. you know. I mean, I'm the first to admit that my arm is just fucking killing me right now. You know, right here, where Tommy's hurt, you know, but he painted with far worse ailments than a hurting shoulder. And what is that saying, Connor?
Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can do what others can't.
Exactly. And here I am. Shaky hands and all. Shaky hand, rather.
And Poodle Mama said, sexy lashes have never been my superpower.
Never? Did she say never?
Yeah, have never been my superpower. Yeah, but what you were saying, like, you can go 5 years to 10 years not doing something, but if you practice at it enough, the second you do it, it almost feels like you've never stopped.
Yeah.
That's the same way with playing instruments. It's like, I can go months without playing a piano, but the second you sit down, it's like the muscle memories that never left you.
Yeah. And then you don't think about it. Like, I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah, just like you said when you did that shoulder piece. You zoned out and just did it. Because it just came naturally for you.
To put it in the words of Tommy, I fucked the canvas, as he were to have said. Pardon with the offensive speech, speaking with the younger ears out there. What I find a challenge is taking a piece that was never designed or intended for color, aka like this. You know, this was a marker sketch that he did in a coloring book of the dead, I think, actually, which is what I covered down here. But, and then putting color to it, you know, because I know how I know how he thought, and, still working on my, past tenses there. And, like, I know where he put color, where he, you know, where it's supposed to go, even though it's not there, you know. So it's kind of weird how in brain I am with Tommy. Sharpen these up a bit. There we go. Whew!
Yeah, those blacks.
That black is beautiful.
On the capture, it really pops out.
It's
like you know a thing or two.
It's like I know what I'm doing. All right, now for the drama. Hold on a second. Let me just highlight a couple areas here. Create some depth. And then we're gonna pizzazz. We're gonna pizzazz you all.
Have we finally gotten to the amazing part? Yes. Where I'll get blown away?
Yep, everybody's just gonna poop in their pants when they see what I do. Just pooping in their pants. I got nothing. Actually, I'll probably do that last because it's gonna go everywhere. Back in. Now I need my colored pencils. Alright. Alright, and crimson red. Time to paint in the blood.
Poodle Mama said, "Thanks for the warning."
Yeah, I'm readying everybody to go get their diapers now. What did we say? That her eyes were green?
Mm-hmm.
Green with flecks of gold or something such?
Greenish gold.
Greenish gold. Do we have greenish gold? I was about to yell at you for these brown pencils. They're not, Never mind! Let's play with that, because that looks fun. And let's get a... Oh. So I got myself a new pencil sharpener today. I was feeling a little down. It's a shark! I'll show it in this one. I gotta make the sound every time I interact with it. This weird color pencil, I subscribe to Art Snacks and Sketchbox. And I don't know, it's like a tritone colored pencil, so I don't know if you guys can see that very well. But there's like 3 different colors of green in there. So you got like a light, a medium, and a dark. Can you see that okay on there? Yeah. So just to kind of create variety. They're pretty cool. And they're Kohinoor. But because she's greenish gold, we'll put some gold in here too. This is not the exciting poop in the pants part.
It was actually the shark.
It was the shark. No, I'm just kidding. It was the shark. So Connor, when you put a black outline on something, what does it do?
Does it define it?
Yeah, that's the answer I was looking for.
Well, okay, I'm not good at all these art questions you've been throwing me all night.
You're not good at all these. It's your job to learn and understand.
Right. Well, I'll take
It
notes.
pushes back. Dark pushes back. So you see how here where there's no outline, it's forward. But where I put the outline here, it pushed it back. So doing a dark outline in certain places, usually it's at the joints of lines. So you see how these 2 lines came together, that line came together. So it's just to create depth.
So it defines it.
No. Good try though, but no. All right, can you go and grab that other case in there under the ink?
Where is it?
It's in the bin under the ink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that bin. Now for the razzle dazzle. Hopefully I have red. I do. That's gonna be awesome as shit. Alright. I gotta hide it. Because we're gonna razzle dazzle. I'm not explaining a thing. I'm just doing. That way, Julie can get all excited. Let's knock shit over.
AMC XL says it looks great. And then,
Hey, Michelle.
And Primo said hi.
Oh, it's that guy. Michelle, I need a massage.
And
My
Mama said,
arm hurts.
If you're painting 2 different depths, the darker one is the one in the back.
That's right.
And Primo said, I just finished my Jason sculpture, so I decided to celebrate by eating pork roll and watching you paint.
That's pretty good excitement. That's pretty good. So I got these brushes, this little $4 kit of brushes at IKEA. These little guys. This is the first time I'm using them. Stuff smells.
Michelle said, well, if you tell me ahead, I always have Thursday mornings.
Okay. So I missed it. Okay. I think it's stupid watercolor paper. It's drying faster than I can put it on properly. Right, let's do this. I'm gonna have to do it in sections. It's a surprise. You're not allowed to see.
A long drum roll.
Huh?
There's a very long drum roll.
As I get it all over the place. Jesus. Shaky hands don't work for this. Let's try this again. There we go. What?
Primo said, I know you're working real hard here, Sam, but that's the worst Spider-Man I've ever seen.
Come on, man. Whatever. It's everywhere.
Time for the cooking show.
Here, yeah.
This one's been finished for hours.
This one's been finished for hours. Boom. Does it show up?
Mona, line it up a bit more with the camera. It might catch the light better.
How's that?
Yeah.
Glitter. I don't know where the cap went. I got it all over me because I opened the glitter wrong, so the red glitter's just everywhere. Cool, right? There you go.
Yeah, that shows up.
Awesome, right?
Truly magical.
Take that, Tommy. Alright, now I just need my marker again to redefine the lips a bit better. What do you think, Julie? All it's doing is just picking up the glitter. Hold on a minute. I gotta get a harder thing. Crickets?
Yeah.
Everybody is so in awe.
Everyone has to run to the bathroom.
Everybody had to change the pants.
And they all thought you were joking. And she said, love it, and you can never have too much glitter.
I know. Well, Julie's a scrapbooker. So that's why I was like, I can't show her. She's going to know the materials. There we go. All right. And last, but certainly not least,
The real magic.
the extra magic.
Primo said, but what if you weren't wearing pants? Then you were safe.
I have no comment to that. No appropriate comment to that. Look at this. All right. And then, did my gouache dry? It did. That's what I get for putting my gouache out first. It's all super dry now. Use this one. Dun, dun, dun. Nope, not enough gouache. Let's try that again. Maybe I'm just not as entertaining as Tommy. Every time I came on, you know, same people, just everybody's all dead quiet now. Am I just not as entertaining?
It's the awe.
It's the awe. More in awe of me? I don't know about that. I think I call bullshit on that one. Oh no, there it is. Just got a little bit of it.
Moshwolf said, no, you are. I just don't talk too much. LOL.
Well, thanks. That makes me feel loved, kid. So loved.
Primo said, I'm eating pork roll. I have an excuse for being quiet. And he also had, although I'm not.
Although I'm not what?
Yes.
I don't know. I just nod and smile and nod when Wayne talks sometimes. He's got like backwards segues that you're like, what? Eh?
Poodle Mama said Connor needs to get in full MC mode and work the crowd.
That's right, he does.
And then Michelle said we're about to get dinner. So I guess the excuse.
There's lots of excuses out there. It's all good. I know. The dynamic of it is very much not what it used to be. But unless someone has a Necronomicon that can resurrect my dead husband back, you're stuck with me as is, kids. Stuck with me as is. Alright, one last thing.
Poodle Mama said, amazing. My house is so blessed to have another Castillo creation in it. I've never been on Twitch.
Poodle Mama or Purple Mama?
Purple Mama.
Okay.
Adam just hooked me up today. I'm just enjoying watching. And I love hearing your voice in my house. And I'm a slow typer.
That's okay. I'm just happy that you're happy. So I kind of went over Tommy's signature, but I'm going to recreate Tommy's signature here. As you all know. There you go. There's the Tommy signature. And then the Sammy goes underneath it.
And Poodle Mama said, enunciate, Connor. So.
Mumbler! It was really loud. What do we think? I like it. Do we like it? I like the glitter on that.
Mm-hmm.
That really is just... I'm glad Tommy bought the glitter and never used it with intention of doing exactly what I'm doing right now. But I'm taking full credit because he's dead and can't say anything.
And then something falls.
The earth shakes. I'm sorry! Get out of here, bugs.
And Poodle Mama said she's pretty.
She is indeed. Alright. Now for the moment Adam's been waiting for.
And Purple Mama said, love, love, love. Many exclamation marks.
If it's more than 10, that means she's really excited. But if it's less than 10, then it's just okay.
And she's reaching out on 5.
Oh, that's pretty good. Batgirl. We're going to leave this to hang out and dry. I'm on to Batgirl. Oh, give me a second. I better stretch my arm out. What?
Alright, so she responded with many, many exclamation marks. So definitely went over 10 there.
Nice. I'm okay with that. Adam, you just want all glitter, right? Just glitter everywhere? Real masculine.
Like, what would it look like if Elton John decorated a Batgirl suit?
Right? Well, we just have to look at the Joel Schumacher version, and there you go. Right? Let's see what I did the last time. Hold on a second.
Adam said yes, purple too. Let's go.
You want the suit purple?
Not just the pink, as you said. Glitter with pink and purple.
Right. Do you want me to just paint it the way I want to paint it, or are you asking for the purple and yellow suit?
He said purple glitter.
Oh, purple glitter. Got it.
And Poodle Mama said, yes, keep the female superheroes and villains coming. And then Adam said, no, you paint how you want it.
Good. I hate the purple and yellow suit.
And he said green and gold. And then he said, no, not a green and gold. And he also added, that was Nicole typing.
Oh. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know what I'm supposed to say or do at this point, so I'm just gonna paint stuff.
Right, Moshwolf said, gotta go get crickets, I'll be back.
Adios. I don't know what that meant, but okay. Gotta go get what now?
Crickets, probably feed.
Oh, that's right. She might have like a creature of some kind that eats crickets. Well, let's see what this color is.
So we're doing the purple and yellow suit?
No.
I'm asking to get it.
No, I'm gonna do whatever happens. I don't know. Whatever I paint, I paint.
Just close my eyes and start swinging the brush. Whatever happens,
Pretty much.
happens.
Like this. No. Yeah, let's do this. I don't know what color this is. Hold on. I don't know what I mixed right. Oh, that mixed fine.
And Adam said, whatever Sammy wants is cool with me.
No watercolor in this one. Is your mom watching this time, Connor?
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a family affair then, huh? Too bad Sierra's not watching. Well, she'd be here, actually.
If she wasn't working, she'd be here.
If she wasn't working, she'd be here. Sierra's his girlfriend.
Michelle said, I like that one. And then my mom said, but of course...
But of course,
and as in she's here. And then Poodle Mama is telling my mom to tell me to enunciate.
I think they mean speak louder. Because the mic's above.
Right.
So you might not be speaking loud enough. Or she's just giving you shit. Either way, it's funny.
Right, and my mom responded with Connor enunciate. Not only am I hearing it on Twitch, I'm pretty sure I'll hear it when I get home.
If she's awake.
Yeah, depending on how late this one runs. Or unless she just genuinely wants to stay up to...
To yell at you about enunciating? Mumbler! Cracks me up. Oh, that's right. I added all that in. That's why. I'm like, why doesn't this look the way that I thought it did? That's because I drew a bunch of shit into it the last time. La, 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 la.
Right, duly noted, Poodle Mama. She said a little louder and separate your words.
Am I going to have to teach you how to speak?
I hope not.
Speak.
I really hope not.
I have to do treats or something to get you to speak properly.
Yeah, I can't wait for Skynet to take over. And then when everyone's like, where's John Connor? And then it's like, oh, that's me. It's like, this is our leader? He's supposed to save us? He can't even pronounce words right.
Why? He doesn't even enunciate properly.
We'll take out those Terminators. And it's like, what? Those Terminators.
Terminators. Say out the Terminators. Is he talking? I don't know. Is he mumbling?
Adam said that he likes the blue.
Yeah, right?
And then my mom added he would love some of Oliver's treats. I don't think Oliver would allow that.
No. Here comes Oliver, though. I hear a caller. Might have been Uzi. Uzi's really your critic here.
And then Poodle Mama said, it's a learning curve, not a big deal.
I like making it a big deal, though. Yeah, kid didn't speak up at the shows either. Well, he did when he got all excited at the end. It's like, Connor, speak louder. Right?
Yeah, Primo said, Connor, say he thrust his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghost. A little nod to it right there.
Moses supposes his toes are roses. Moses supposes erroneously. Moses, he knows his toes aren't roses. As Moses supposes erroneously. And then cue Gene Kelly. Because that's from, well, that was used in Singing in the Rain. Chestnut chooses chestnuts. Cheddar cheese with chewy chives. He chews them and he chooses them. He chooses them and he chews them. Those chestnuts, cheddar cheese, and chives, in cherry charming chunks.
Purple Mom said, well, Well, Purple Mom has 2 dachshunds.
Yes.
I could change my name to Wiener Mama if that would help with Poodle Mama.
No. Please, no. I won't be able to take that one seriously, Julie. I'm sorry. No. You're good. Keep it Purple Mama. I don't think your kids will appreciate Wiener Mama.
She added, just didn't think that would sound right.
No. I mean, hilarious, but no. Your mama. You make me laugh. Oh, I have a cast of characters that watch this show.
I feel like I'll just live on in infamy as...
Yeah. I feel like I need to change Julie's contact info to that. Be like, Wiener Mama. I'm not going to let Adam live that one down. How's the Wiener Mama? You shut up already, Sam. I don't want this anymore. Give me back my money.
It's too late. It's already been shipped out to Wiener Mama.
Sorry, am I blocking the camera? What, my head?
Yeah, but where you're working, you can still see.
How's that?
Yeah,
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Get back here, you. I had a runaway drip.
Primo asks, so since Sam, too, is a
clean.
Wiener Mama, does that make me an Uncle Wiener?
Do you... Judging by...
All the paths this show is taking tonight.
Judging based on your look as a person, not sure that you'd want to go with that. I'm just saying. Not really sure about that, Primo. This paper, it's interesting painting on all of Strathmore's watercolor paper. And seeing the difference between all the different series. You know, like painting on the 200, then painting on the 400, and then normally painting on the 5. I got so spoiled with the 5. So spoiled.
Purple Mama said, Sammy, you're a Wiener Mama too.
I am.
And then Primo asked, is Uzi behaving?
Yes, Uzi is behaving. Yes, she is.
And then Purple Mama asked, how is Uzi and Ollie?
Uzi and Ollie are doing good. You know, they're handling stuff okay, I guess. They, they're doing alright. Uzi got a bit snippy with me the other day. She was kind of being a bitch. I'm not really sure why. She tried to steal one of Oliver's TRs. You know the word that we're not allowed to say. And, I whacked her in the butt and she almost She almost bit me, actually. She snarled at me almost bit me. So, she got put in her place real quick. What is this? I need this yellow. I'm moving to my Holbein palette. I want a real pure yellow, and I don't want to deal with the corroded yellow of what Tommy did. What Tommy's done to his palette.
Poodle Mama said, doggos are so resilient.
Yeah, I did what you should do, when someone like that, when they're just like when a normal dog passes, because he was Tommy was in the house for a few hours before they could come and pick him up. So I had them lay with him for a while, and they got the picture. Actually, Oliver almost bit someone protecting Tommy, because they were laying on his chest, and one of our other friends, loosely affiliated friends, so to speak, came in to see Tommy, and Oliver jumped up and almost bit him. I was like, drat, you shouldn't have done it a little bit faster, Oliver. But yeah. But they got the picture, and it was good that, I was with them for so long, before Tommy passed, so I don't really I wasn't too concerned with them, passing out of grief. So, I switched to a Neptune oval wash brush. I think it's made out of squirrel or something. Something super soft. Holds a lot of pigment.
Purple Mama added, the yellow looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm using Imadazzlon Yellow.
And that's part of your Holbein kit?
That's part of my Holbein kit. AKA very expensive. And then I pulled some, hold on a minute. I got lemon yellow here, and then I pulled some yellow ochre. I'm not going to use the lemon yellow because this other yellow is doing my job. But just to kind of, while it's wet, to kind of help add some dimension with these ripples. Oliver is losing air. It is time for Oliver to lose air. Every night he loses air.
Michelle said, this looks awesome. I do have to sign off now. Call me if you need me.
Roger that.
Primo said, OMG, there's some poor naked squirrel out there freezing.
Yeah. Why do you think I collect the squirrels? I mean, they're around the house so much.
In the name of art,
yeah, you just shave it. Grab the squirrel and shave it. Let's not do that all the way down there, Sam. Ah, that got red on there. Problem solved.
said, and I thought those razors in the bathroom were decorative. Primo asked, I guess he's mentioning about the poor naked squirrel.
The safety razors? Shh. Little do you know, sir. Little do you know. It puts the lotion on the skin. I don't know, that didn't work out as well.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Kind of meant, you know, like, because he was creepy and Ed Gein a little. But Ed Gein mainly did it with humans, not squirrels, so.
So there's just a squirrel somewhere singing Goodbye Horses.
The squirrel tucks his tail. That's funny. Oliver, quiet. Like, but you haven't paid attention to me all day. I don't know what to do.
And Charlie says, that piece is so awesome.
Hey, Charlie. Just Charlie?
Charlie, R-U-I?
Yeah. That is relative Charlie. Charlie nephew. Unless there's another Charlie. But I'm pretty sure it's nephew Charlie. La 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 la. So anybody see any good movies lately?
Yeah, besides Blade Runner, what stuff has actually really come out? Blade Runner, I know.
Kingsman? The second Kingsman, I'd like to see that.
That was good.
Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't tell me about it.
Of course.
Yeah, I want to see the second Kingsman.
You still haven't seen it yet?
I have not seen it. It actually came out on my birthday. Believe it or not.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah, it's probably not in there anymore. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. American Assassin, I guess. But I really didn't have any interest in seeing that. What else? What else is out there?
Charlie asked, do you draw Spider-Gwen?
Sure. I draw everything. There is nothing I don't draw. Except for my dogs being zombies. That's the only thing I will not draw.
And Poodle Mama said, yellow really makes things pop. Jerry's Bat Kermit has that yellow.
Yep.
My daylight basement is fully decorated with Tommy's art. Sometimes I go there to meditate.
Who said that? Poodle Mama?
Poodle Mama.
Yeah. He'd like that. He would have liked to have heard that. And yellow is actually the highest color on the spectrum. It's the brightest color in the color spectrum. White is not the brightest, yellow is.
And Poodle Mama mentioned, I only see new movies when Jerry is in town. And then...
Yeah, he messaged me. I'm sending out a bunch of his stuff. But he messaged me. I emailed him. And he's doing swim class or something. I don't know. Jerry is I don't think he's been on while you've been streaming, but he watches, actually, as well.
And Karn HS said, I'm sad to have missed you at Gen Con this year, Sammy. You probably don't remember me, but I won the grand prize raffle Tommy did in 2016.
Oh yeah, I remember you, brother. You hung out at the booth for like fucking ever. I remember.
With the giant Cthulhu on the 7-foot panel.
Yeah, you were. I remember you.
And he also said it's the centerpiece of my office.
Nice.
And Poodle Mama mentioned, I never met Tommy, but I really do miss him so much.
I do too. A lot of people do. That's a good thing. You know, one of the most important things, especially with artists, and something that Tommy always strove for was, you know, you hear about some of these amazing artists, for instance, Norman Rockwell, you know, and you know the art, and it's amazing, of course, but what do you know of the man? You know, you hear nothing about the quality of man that Norman was, and he was not a very good quality of man, let's just politely say that. So, you know, Tommy never wanted that as his lineage. Who's messaging me? He wanted, you know, he wanted to be known for the quality, not only the quality of the art, but the quality of person he was. Well, apparently we sold something. We did. And, you know, that was something he always strove for. And he attained, you know, and I'm happy that he was able, you know, to have that come true for him, despite, you know, having to be dead to know that. But anytime you hear anybody talking about Tommy, unsolicited through me anyway, you know, they always speak about not only was he a great artist, but he was a hell of a guy, or a great guy, you know, or he was kind and funny, which he was all of those things. He was very genuine as a person. So I'm happy that, you know, we were able to, you know, to have that.
Charlie asked, is that watercolor you're using?
Yes.
Yes, of course. And then Poodle Mama said, someday I'll have to build an annex for my Sammy artwork.
Yeah, stick it with the Tommy art. Yeah, I'm doing these for right now while I get back into the groove of drawing. The groove of painting for me, I guess I'm getting into a lot quicker than the groove of drawing again. And so I'm teaching Connor everything that Tommy taught me, of course. But I don't like that you strayed. There we go. But, you know, I'm actually also doing all of the exercises I'm forcing Connor to do. What, is he just sitting in there crying?
Yeah, he's just laying on the bed.
Does he want to get down?
The stairs are there.
Yeah, he doesn't come down he doesn't do the stairs. So he wants to get down. Probably has to go to the bathroom. I have stairs leading up to my bed. And Oliver doesn't like the stairs. I think it hurts his back, or hurts his hips because of the arthritis. So he's been crying so that Connor could take him down.
We take him outside for you?
No, they can go out themselves. They just want attention.
And Purple Mama said, Poodle Mama, you have met Tommy, just in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Through his art, his beautiful soul is in every art piece he's ever created.
That's right. That is right. That is 100% true. I love that effect. The glow. It's so cool. Yeah. Who's losing air? Stop losing air. He's mad at me because I've spent the day painting. And I had my dog fart. I had the music really loud so I couldn't hear them crying constantly. They got so used to Tommy, like, sitting with them on the couch when he was sick that they want the 24-hour companionship like they had before. And that's the hardest part is, like, because all I want to do is just sit on the couch with them and watch a movie or something, you know. But I got to get works done. How's that looking on screen?
It's good. The yellow really pops up on it.
You know what's funny is when I was less practiced with painting and watercolor, I hated these soft brushes because I couldn't control the pressure very well of the brush. And now I love painting with them. You think, Adam? Think it's acceptable? Think it's okay?
Do you have any ideas for a pants pooping surprise at the end of this one too?
No. I'm just going to do this one pretty straight. He's going to be putting it next to Tommy's stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to paint it pretty straight like Tommy would have. You know, like with a Sammy twist, of course, because I make different choices than Tommy, of course. But no, I'm going to do it pretty straightforward.
Yeah, Adam said it looks good so far.
I don't think Adam's going to, I mean, once it's done, it's going to be, you know, pants pooping awesome. But I don't think it needs to have glitter, if that's what we're saying. And I'm going to let that dry for a second and use the rest facilities. Connor will be entertaining you while I'm gone. Or Oliver, whichever you prefer. Here's an Oliver. He doesn't really know what to do.
Just out of view.
There you go. There's an Oliver. Watch the dog. Or there he goes. So watch my chair now.
Where's the elevator music when you need it? So how's everybody doing tonight? It's been pretty quiet so far. Got a lot of people in the chat that are just spectating.
Now you're looking at my crotch. Tell me when, Connor.
Keep going.
Hold on. Sorry, second camera.
Yep, right there.
Excellent. This is uncomfortable. Oh, let's put you right here. Now he's got a toothache.
Fake face.
I need some water too. Luckily, I had some on my nightstand. Okay. What are we working on now? Hair. Long flowing hair. It's running. That's what we do.
Poodle Mama asked me to tell a joke.
Well, hop to it, kid. Tell a joke.
There's a definition of my comedy chops.
You mean lack thereof?
Lack thereof, yeah.
running joke. That's funny. Well, I'm teaching him art, not comedy. There's a reason he's an artist.
Charlie said, or asked, how are y'all related to Tommy?
I am Tommy's widow. Tommy recently passed away, unfortunately. And then the millennial voice behind me is my assistant / apprentice Connor. So I actually am an artist as well and worked with my husband for years. Tommy was in the industry for 30 years. Penciled Batman for 9, toe tags with George Romero, Green Arrow, Spawn, Spider-Man, Savage Dragon, so on and so forth. So he actually pretty much taught me everything I know and everything he knew about art. And I have, since he passed, I have picked up the mantle and have continued on the legacy. So this is actually one of his pieces that he drew. And one of his dreams for us that we unfortunately were never able to accomplish was that I would color or paint a lot of his pencil work. So after the fact of, his passing, that's what I'm doing. But I'm an artist as well, so I draw and illustrate myself as well in my own style. I don't just paint his work. I think that covers it pretty good. So don't feel weird that you didn't know. A lot of people feel weird that they don't know of Tommy's passing, and it does not upset me by saying it. It is okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay that you didn't know. And I don't mind talking about him. I absolutely love talking about him. He is the love of my life. And it makes me happy to talk about him and continue on the work that we wanted to continue together.
Purple Mama said, Sith Lord Wilson, a.k.a. Wiener Papa. It needs glitter.
You are not living that one down, brother. Oh, no. No. That makes me happy.
And then Poodle Mama said, my son Jerry, a.k.a. Flem Sneezy.
That's it, Flem Sneezy. I can't ever remember Jerry's screen name outside of seeing it.
So a.k.a. Flem Sneezy met Tommy at Portland, Oregon
Yes.
Comic Con and came home with Tommy, original and prints.
Yep.
He told me that. And Adam said, I am one of his quoted brothers. Like, quote, brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Poodle Mama said, Tommy drew him into conversation and made him feel comfortable, and it made his day.
That was one thing that was always awesome about Tommy. He was always so approachable. I mean, nobody that knew him was afraid of talking to him, or he would pull you in. You might be a little like, but you get pulled into the conversation, and you just, next thing you know, it's like 2 hours. And I lived with that every day. Hearing the same stories over and over.
Yeah, Primo said, looking good, Sam, and
Nice.
sorry, stepped away to make a smoothie.
I bought him. Did I tell you what I bought him for his birthday?
Mm.
I bought him a smoothie, like it's a blender, but it's special for smoothies, like in milkshakes and stuff like that, for his birthday. Okay, so what I'm using is a really traditional brush. It's called a quill brush. It's got a lot of hair, super soft, and it's meant for lots of washes. It's meant for really big areas, like this. So I'm actually coming in with a tinted wash while her hair and everything else dries. And A little late there, Amazon. I got that message already. So that I could put down some color behind her. But it's just a really big wash. And it just absorbs a lot of color. See?
Charlie said, my condolences to you and the family, and that is awesome that you're doing that for your husband.
Thank you very much. My husband was a knight errant. He was a man of strength of character, strength of person, and unfathomable conviction. And, you know, he was ill the last couple of years, and we fought hard, very hard, to get him healthy and to save his life. He was a type 2 diabetic, and he went into renal failure. And I was actually going to be the donor, but unfortunately he had an undiagnosed blood condition that caused his liver to fail. And, you know, he passed, unfortunately. But, you know, I could not... A lot of artist wives aren't as involved in the business as I was. You know, I was partner in all things life, marriage, business. I ran the business. You know, all he had to do was paint when he was able. And that's Tommy right up here, actually. That's us at a show. That's us at a show, if you can see those. Can you see these?
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine following up the fight by giving up. You know, this is, not to make it sad, but this makes me happy doing this. And I'll tell you guys something, it's not really a secret. It's not something I speak about a lot, because it's, I'm sure in some form or fashion, emotionally traumatizing to me. But at the end, he was not very coherent because of the liver failure and the kidney failure. And so I was actually, the doctors would not speak with him because Tommy didn't know who the doctors were. And he would only trust his wife. And I was medical surrogate. And that meant I was the one that had to tell him he was going to pass. And quite honestly, that is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. And will ever have to do in my entire life. And a lot of people are surprised because he passed in June, and I went to see June 23rd. Funeral was June 29th, and I was 2.5 weeks later, I was in San Diego doing San Diego Comic-Con. You know? And people were like, I don't understand. How can you be here and do these? How can you do it? And I said, where else should I be? You know? I mean, I'm not the type of person to shy away from the hard stuff. And compared to what I just had to live through, going to the show, talking about the man that I promised to be with the rest of my life and changed my life forever, good and bad. You know, how could I not? You know, like, how could you not be there talking? I mean, I couldn't imagine. And I guess I have just as much strength and conviction as he does. But, you know, I just couldn't imagine giving up. Like that, he fought for 30 years to be where he was. And I, with him, the last 8. I rounded up to 10. I only got 8. But, you know, he made me promise to be happy, and this is what makes me happy. And he made me promise to continue on with my art career. He played dirty. He made me promise literally on his deathbed. Literally. He's like, I'm going to make you promise on my deathbed that you continue your art. And I was like, you are on your deathbed. And he goes, well, let's hear some promising. It was very funny. That was a real conversation we had, too. But, you know, when you have that level of conviction, you can't follow it up with giving up. And that's why I'm still doing it. You know, and I find it disrespectful too, not only to not only to me, like, I'm not so self-centered as to not understand that I'm not the only one that lost Tommy. Millions of people also lost him. And a lot of people didn't get closure because they weren't able to come to the funeral or see him in his last week. But by coming and talking to me and seeing me at a show, or even doing this, you know, allows people a level of closure, you know, that he affected their lives. Former students, you know, people you just chatted with, people that love the art, where the art changed their life. You know, that's an honor, and it's an honor for me to be able to come to you guys and allow you to have that closure. So, that's another reason I do it. Now we got all deep and philosophical. I'm going to drink.
Yeah, Primo said before that last comment that it isn't a celebration without a smoothie. And the birthday blender works awesome.
Good.
And then Charlie added up that it's so cool that you're carrying on with his legacy.
Yep. It is. It is. Thank you, and I appreciate it. I love the feedback from everybody, you know, and gonna let that dry for a minute. You know, I like hearing the feedback from everyone as well. So, yeah, again, sometimes it's easier said than done, but, you know, it is what it is sometimes. I gotta clean this off real quick. Because my assistant didn't clean off my palette.
I follow the orders I'm told.
It's true. I did not tell you to clean my palette. Are you under my chair, Oliver? Oliver's under my chair. Got the coordination of, I don't know, something that's completely uncoordinated that I can't think of right now. That was smooth, right?
Expected to be smooth like butter, but it was just a brick.
A frozen brick of
I got this.
I got this. Frozen brick of something, I don't know. Whatever's frozen and isn't normally frozen is a brick. Oliver, you gotta move out of there, babe. You do.
Mama said, I have to go now. Thanks, Sammy, and don't be a stranger.
No worries, I'll be back.
I love seeing you and watching you transition into the new you.
Thank you. Come here, Oliver. Come here. Stop it. No, don't. We do this all the time. I pick you up all the time. How are you difficult now? Alright, you want to paint? You want to paint with me? Here. Here you go. You want to paint with me? Here. There you go. There you go. How's that? Okay, we'll paint together. Adam, Oliver's going to paint. Here you go. Put it in your mouth. Wouldn't that be awesome? Put it in your mouth. No? Alright, you can lick my nose. That's an acceptable... Oh, that's why he wanted to come up. You've got Uzi. Okay. Painting with dog.
I guess Flum Sneezy just joined us. He said, I made it.
Hey, Jerry.
Right, and Adam said it's all good. So I guess Oliver's participation is gladly accepted.
Of course, he's got wieners too. Actually, in one of the pieces, Tommy sold it. We were gone for a couple weeks, like 6 weeks in a row or something, like something ridiculous. And Oliver had chewed on one of the originals, like pencils. It was this size, and he chewed off the corner. So Tommy left it, painted it, painted the piece and left it. And, it was, he added Oliver's name on there too. It was pretty funny. And they're like, what do you mean, and Oliver? Who's Oliver? And he's like, oh, that's my dog. See the dog chew marks? And the guy's like, that's awesome. And he bought it. He's like, I don't even care what it is. It was great.
Yeah, Adam said, Jack says, don't screw it up, Ollie.
Yeah.
then Purple Mom said, OMG, hi Ollie, Adam, another Castillo working on your piece.
I know. Kind of want to like put ink on his paw and put a big paw print on here for you. So if you're wondering the difference when I was talking about paper, if you're wondering the difference of papers, so this was the first line I put down and it's pretty much almost dry. But you take your water, as I flick it onto my blue, but you take your brush with plain water and you start scrubbing back into it, and you can actually pick up that paint again and blur out that line that's already dried. That's the difference of good paper and not good paper.
And you're painting on 400 series?
Yeah, this is the 400.
And is the higher the number, the more...
Yeah. Professional, what we normally paint on, what I normally have, but I just ran out, is the 500 series. That's the one that Tommy helped redo. Like, redesign. So that's what he's on. He's on the 500 series of the Bristol. See? Perfect skin tone now. Pretty crazy, right?
Charlie said, I remember getting on and watching Tommy draw.
Yeah.
He would always have good advice and on how to better your art.
Yeah. I may not have the elegance of Tommy's advice, but I trained with him for 24/7 for years, 8 years. So, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I am okay with sharing any knowledge that I have gotten from my husband. Oh, way too dark.
And then Ent Locks said,
Hey.
he talked a lot about your personal character, and I loved it.
Yeah. Always did. Always did. The sad part is they say never meet your heroes, and for the most part, that's actually kind of true, because a lot of times heroes are kind of jerks. I gotta shift, Oliver. Hold on a minute. Watcha. There we go. I gotta put this down. Okay. Don't freak out. I just gotta move your butt. There you go. You're good. Yeah, a lot of times, you know, the guys that you love and adore are kind of assholes. It's sad. But that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. That's good red. I think that's the red I used for Maleficent. No. Use the red for this. Am I good still?
Yeah, you're good.
However, hopefully I am not an asshole. So... And I'm going to be streaming regularly again. I had to get the studio in functional order, which took about 2 days. I lost count, honestly.
It was a little under 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was like 12 days we were organizing the studio. Yeah, there's a giant bookshelf behind me that's a library. And, full of books. Every shelf in the studio actually has books on it, except like 2.
Because those are filled with art supplies.
Those are filled with art supplies. Yeah, you'd think that the art supplies would be more, right? Nope. I mean, this giant thing right over here behind me is art supplies, but you can see the books there. There's a whole library on the other side. What color eyes does Barbara Gordon have? Blue, right?
I think you made them blue in the other one, so...
Yeah, no, I made them green in the other one because I just made them green. Let's have a fan. Look it up. While I take a drink.
And Flem Sneezy said, Just because you're an asshole does not mean it needs to be your defining feature.
That's right.
Quoted by him himself just now.
That's good, Jerry. That's good. Hey, Jerry, for your Batman Bane remark, was it Tommy choice? Because I got a couple of them in the drawer, and I don't have them marked apparently, because I'm dumb. I'm making her eyes blue. I hope everybody's cool with that, because now it's too late. No, Oliver, stop the flailing about, please. Thank you. No. Oliver.
He said, yeah, it was Tommy's choice.
Okay. Oliver, stop moving.
Yeah, Purple Mom said it blue eyes, and then Entlock said blue is gorgeous.
Blue is gorgeous. Blue it is. I went like this and put paint on Oliver. I have to put the rag on him because I do that. So one time Uzi, one time I saw it. Tommy did a whole bunch of paintings, and Uzi had sat against one of the paintings, and it was an oil painting. So she had like on her like the crest of her butt, like when she sat down and part of her tail, she had white stuck to it. Like, and unless we shaved her, we couldn't get the paint off because we're not going to use, terpenoid on the dog.
Yeah.
And then, I was not around for this. This was before me, but Tommy's previous dog, Oscar, rolled around in a pallet of oil paint. Like just rolled on a pallet of oil paint. And then walked across, just was walking around. So he had, all sorts of crazy colors all over him. It was hilarious. As Tommy would say, it was hilarious. I, again, was not around for that. But, yeah. I was like, did you sell the painting that the dog rolled on? He's like, yep. He said, I had it, it was done, done with Oliver, or done with Oscar. He signed it, Castillo and Oscar. Or Tommy and Oscar or something like that. It was pretty funny. I'm just waiting for some of this to dry a little bit more.
Charlie said, it looks like when Tommy was on there drawing.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to be Tommy, but, you got influence. There's a lot of an influence on me, so. Now, for those of you just joining us today, while this dries, I'll show you. I did a Maleficent earlier, which is sold. Him and the Harley, and I'll steal this. Batman, which I was starting. No, where's the little guys in here? So, yeah. So I'm doing these remarks while she's drying. I'll set her over here for a minute. Now, the remarks are all, the line work is all Tommy's, of course. But you've got drawings and sketches and paintings and such. So I'm actually just putting color to them. The big guys, which is the Harley, and of course the Wolverine. Can you see the Wolverine? Sort of.
Maybe a bit more.
I'll put it over here. The big guys are 150. They're 14 by 17. The 11 by 17s are 100. And then I have little guys that are 8.5 by 11. Let me pull one out. Here, we'll pull out this Joker, which is a cool Joker. These guys are 50. And they're 8.5 by 11. So all of these are museum reproductions of drawings and sketches that Tommy did that were never put to color, and I'm putting color to them. So I just thought I'd recap that for everybody. So I did this one yesterday. This one I did at a convention because I was bored. But this one is claimed, but I did Wolverine yesterday. The Harley Quinn, she is as yet unclaimed. And then Maleficent, which has been claimed, I did earlier before the Batgirl. Alright, that's dry enough. And let's get some
Flem Sneezy said, I think my favorite selling random shit story was selling the melted crayon rocks.
Ha! Yes. Yes, I will tell that as soon as I find what color I want. So the melted crayon color rocks is a Tommy story, and I'll probably tell it pretty much verbatim. All right, Oliver, I love you, but you're making me sweat my ass off here. All right. Yep. Say goodbye to everyone. And down you go. Well, why did you do that? So, when Tommy was 20-something, early 20s, he decided that he was going to... Oh, that works out perfectly. He was going to travel cross-country with his girlfriend that turned into his first wife. I was second wife. So he went across and he was poor as shit, and he was a beginning gallery artist. That's how Tommy actually started. He was a gallery artist first, and he was poor, dirt poor, and he wanted to draw across the country. So as he was driving and do art and all that kind of fun stuff. And so what ended up happening was his ex left his crayons, which was the only art supply he had, in the back window of the car. And they had actually melted, I guess, they were loose, and they had melted on these rocks that he had collected in the Painted Desert. And when he went in to get, gallery, he had them with him for whatever reason. And he did these beautiful pieces, for the gallery. And the gallery owner, curator, whatever you want to call her, she was like, oh, I don't want this, but those. And he had the painted rocks. And he bound sticks together with like vine and rope and had them standing there. It was one of the reasons he got out of the art, that kind of industry, the fine art industry, because it was just a bunch of pretentious hoo-ha, to put it politely. But yeah, that was the painted rock story. Yeah. Less glamorously told by myself. He'd be like, that had no flair to it at all. But he'll live.
Wasn't there one to where he went to like a fine art museum and just took trash and put it like on the floor somewhere, and then people were gathering around taking pictures of it?
Trolling people.
It was like a paper cup with like a pair of broken sunglasses.
Yeah, to prove a point. He was trying to prove a point to somebody about how pretentious the art world was, and he just brought in. It was his pair of sunglasses, and he had a cup, like an empty drink cup, and he crushed it, and he just stuck it there. And it was and he was trying to prove a point to somebody about something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, pretty much because, he actually got out of it. He got out of it really when it was, when did he get out of it? Early 90s. He got out of it in the early 90s because he got tired of not getting paid for his work. Like, there was one of his shows, he did, he sold in one night, opening night, he sold $64,000 worth of art. And then the gallery was like, oh, well, there's a fine art fee and a hanging fee. And you brought your things in early, so there's a storage fee. And he ended up walking out with like $6,000. They took like almost 90%. You know, and what he got tired of were these rich old assholes, you know, these rich assholes, social elite, so to speak, you know, going in wanting something that matches their fucking $8,000 couch. And, he, just to screw with people, you know, the pretentiousness of people, he did a piece called Iniquities of Times and Dreams of My Mother. And it literally was a empty desert landscape with a blue floating wooden chair. It meant absolutely nothing, but it was the title. And he ended up listening to people talk about his, you know, emotional isolation and problems with his mom and all this other stuff that just, you know, it just was a bunch of bullshit. It wasn't true, and he just got tired how fake of everything was, you know? And that's why he switched to illustration. You know, doing this kind of stuff. It was way more fun. Am I blocking?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, Primo added about the rock story. Then they wanted more rocks, so he took them from the gallery's landscaping and sold them back to them.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did.
He also added he was very pleased about that.
Yes.
And then there's a Zargath 1. He says, hello, a few months ago I showed interest for Kermit the Frog. I can't find him on the website.
That is because he is not available on the website. Which Kermit are you looking at? The memorial one where I paint, or just the regular standard one? Because there are two different versions. Just to let you know. Let's add some boob. Oh. Shoulder break. She's very svelte. Excuse me, that light's giving me an awful headache. It's like right in my eyes. Do we have an answer on the Kermit?
And he said, I may have saved it. Let me check. So
Saved it? Did you see it on stream? Or was it a post? Because I've got the one that I'm talking about is the memorial one for Tommy, and that's the $100 version where I watercolor. Can you hand me the one that's finished? Second top one, I mean. That's this guy. Ta-da! So I hand watercolor this. This is for another person, but I have one left, and they are 100. If this is the one that we're speaking of. I'll leave it up for a second while I take a drink.
He said, yes, can I post a screenshot in a few minutes? Well, he said yes, that's the one.
Yes. I have one left. Just give me one. Yeah, there you go. But this is the last one right here. And it's got the in memoriam, and your name gets added to the list. You can, if you want to call dibs on it, I will finish it for you tomorrow. And you can PayPal me the 100 with your address and shipping and handling, which is $10 nationwide. Connor, my assistant, will put in the PayPal, and it can be yours. And by that I mean, please buy it. Dark red. My dark orange is in here. Hey, what color is this? Bright orange. Not into the bright orange. Deep vermilion. That's red, not orange. Where's my reddish browns? I'll find one. I feel like I need to buy some reddish browns, man. Jeez. Can you, Connor, when you're done, can you find me a, like a dark brown in the browns, please? I have sienna brown at the moment. Thanks, kid.
Welcome.
Trying to keep my head out of the way. Connor's not at the camera. He's behind me looking for my colored pencil. Holy crap. This is split all the way up. Wow, look at that. I don't know if you guys can you see that, Connor? This colored pencil is split all the way up. See it?
I can see that.
That's crazy. That really sucks, too. I gotta draw lightly with it then. How are we doing on that? Did we find a dark brown?
Yeah, I found one. Just need to be sharpened.
Okay. The fuck was that? Oh, the gun. We'll have to find another place for this. We'll use this one. I like these tri ones. Let's add some color. Anything? Anybody talking? Thanks.
Cool. Right, Charlie said that piece is turning out so awesome.
Thank you.
And then...
Oh, I'm all blocking. I'm like, you can't see it.
And then Zagarth mentioned that he's in Canada. So.
Ah, you're in Canada. We could do shipping for, actually, shipping for Canada, I think there's like, do $15. Because I think it's like 14 something. I'm going to be in Winnipeg at the end of the month for a show. I don't know if you are near Winnipeg, but I will be there. Am I blocking the camera?
Not where you're working.
Alright, cool. The lights, after a while, give me a headache, so I had to put my hat the other way again. Sorry, kids. Here, let's use poppy red for her lips. Yes.
Yeah, and then Zagarth Gareth mentioned or added that he's in Montreal. So.
Oh yeah, no. $15 then, sir. I don't think that's going to be worth the journey. But I'll also get it shipped out for Monday. On Monday, I should say. It's black. There's like a orange violet. Where is that? Oh, there it is. What are we thinking so far, kids? That good, huh? I always forget at first that there's like a
delay.
There's a delay, yeah.
The power of the brush pen.
This Sumi ink is just fucking awesome.
It's just like a richer ink.
Yes. Oh, Sumi ink is just so deep. It's such a deep black.
Adam said it looks awesome.
Thanks, brother. I am doing my best. So the reason we do the Sumi ink on the eyes is to make them sexier. Do you know that, Connie?
Was the same thing with adding the eyelashes?
Yep. See? See the difference? Keep these out. There we go. Because this is kind of like a shadowy, hazy kind of whatever. So, oop, that does not go in there. So I didn't want anything to be super, super black. Because I wanted this to be the black. But with her eyes to make them more like pazzow. That is the technical term, pazzow. That's what we do. And that one's the broken one. Where's the other one that I had? Magic. Yeah, we'll do this first. You ready for the magic, kids? Here we go. What?
Adam said, "Oh, good, my favorite part." And then Charlie said, "It seems to me Tommy was lucky to have you as a partner."
Yes. He very much was. As I was lucky to have him as a partner. Because I'll tell you what, I would not be doing this if it wasn't for him. I 1,000% would not be here if it were not for him. You know, he taught me everything to survive in terms of business and in terms of life, you know. I think we both taught each other. Oh, what did I forget, Connor, with the eyeballs is?
Forgot to add the blood.
That's right. use the poppy red. Cut it in there. Sorry, I'm blocking this. I had to cut the edge on that. There you go. It's amazing what that little trick does, right? Yeah, I wouldn't be here today without knowing him and without being with him, you know. We taught a lot. We taught each other a lot. We changed each other for the best. You know. But he very much always told me how lucky he was to have me. And I him. You know, we were together 24/7 for 8 years. And nothing between us was ever left unsaid. You know, we knew each other so well that, you know, he didn't have to tell me his last wishes because I know what they were. I guess for some people that's a little weird knowing your spouse that well, but I think it's awesome.
Well, and you were like the everything that he needed.
Yeah.
As in, like, even down to
a match.
Yeah.
A kidney match. Yep. I really was. I was ready for that shit. And we just never got that far, unfortunately. But he unfortunately probably wouldn't have survived the surgery anyway, so it's kind of a hard blessing in disguise, I guess. You know. Because, you know, he had a problem with his liver that was undiagnosed and unknown until it was too late. And it was, believe me, it was not through lack of paying attention or lack of care. It was just something that slipped past us, you know. Unfortunately. Kind of giving her some global lighting. Yeah. Sexy. What do you think, Adam?
Purple Mom says, "You are a beautiful couple, and I loved watching the two of you. You could always see your love for one another. Tommy adored you, Sammy."
Yes. Yes, he did. I have no doubt about that.
And then Charlie added, "Gotta go. It was awesome talking to you."
Yes, thank you. You too. What do you think, Adam?
He says, "It's going to look excellent on my wall."
It is. As excellent as it can be. I'm going to add a little in here and a little bit of that there. And that there. Highlight some of this. It's missing something. I know what it is. Not that one. Go with this one.
Purple Mom said, "Adam, your Harley and Poison Ivy are going to be jealous. This is a sexy one."
Well, that Ivy is pretty sexy. That's a sexy Ivy. awkwardly holding this.
And Adam added, haha, I mean, she is naked.
Yeah, right? I'm sexier than green naked chicks. I remember that chick, there's a lady in Baltimore who, you know, her husband really liked the artwork. And she just kind of was like one of those people that's like, who buys these things, you know? Because I had one of Tommy's, that's better. I had one of Tommy's, ivies where she's pretty much naked, just with some leaves and foliage and what have you. And, she was just like, who buys these things? Like, who does this? And I remember just like, I'm painting one of them, and I just look up at her, and I was like, I do, and I do it very successfully. She's like, who buys this? I'm like, a lot of people. I'm world renowned. You know, and I think she didn't realize she said it out loud in front of me. I made her feel like utter dog shit. It was great. It was excellent. It was my favorite thing in the world. Catching people, like, just being assholes and calling them out on it. Oh, yeah.
Flum CZ said, when you first said, what do you think, Adam? I thought Adam West buying a remark? Beyond the Grave?
Right? Wouldn't be the first time somebody in this house was beyond the grave. So, kid, are you seeing the difference with the outline? Mm-hmm. How it stands out much more?
Yeah.
Yep. How there's more separation? This is the sexiest part of a woman right there. That, like, hip bump right there.
Oh, divot.
That little divot, yeah, super fucking sexy. No, I'm seeing where I'm losing impact and then lining, you know?
Mm.
Like up here. And I don't have to line everything.
It's just where
you need it.
Yeah.
So you see the difference now?
Mm-hmm.
With lining it? Like, I didn't do it here because that's kind of faded in the drawing. Like, that's kind of clouded.
Yeah.
And in reality, initially I was going to, airbrush, like, a haze. But I feel like I don't need to. Like, I feel like it would be kind of redundant. You know, because it translated well in my painting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you think, Adam? Think we're done? I think so. I'm going to create some separation here. I keep saying, oh, you think we're done? And then keep doing shit. What's our runtime?
Adam said it looks perfect. And we're at 2 hours and 42 minutes.
Nice. Getting faster.
And then he also added, and I will trust you for when you are done. And then he followed up with, you know more than I do.
Good man, Alt. Good man. So do I make doing this look easy?
Since you're a professional, you make anything look easy.
I wasn't trying to be an ass. I was just asking because Tommy made it look, and he made the whole thing look effortless. He made what he did look effortless. I was just curious if I did the same.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the testimony for that was when at Baltimore when you did that shoulder piece.
Yeah.
And I think it was funny when you came back and you were saying, like, who was it that you went up to and he said, yeah, when did Tommy do that?
Billy Tucci. It was Billy Tucci
the one
did
you were
that.
trying to show up?
Yeah, Billy, yeah. So I posted it on my Facebook, but I'm going to separate her mouth a bit. I posted it on my Facebook, but there was a cosplay dude that like did a gender bend of Harley. So he does like this tactical Harley Quinn. It actually looked really neat. And he was the judge at the costume contest, one of the judges. And he asked me if I could do the Joker Batman on a shoulder piece, and I posted it on my Facebook. And I was like, sure. And he's like, no. He's like, because Billy Tucci did the other one, and he showed this really cool marker sketch, like marker drawing with like Sharpie, silver and black Sharpie of Harley Quinn on one. And he's like, but that Joker Batman would just be perfect. And it's a weird shoulder thing. And I was like, all right, what did I charge him? I don't even remember, like $100. Mm-hmm. I think it was like $100. I was like, all right, give me $100 and I'll put it on there. And he's like, and I was like, dude, you want me to do this or not? And I had never, believe it or not, I had never drawn the Joker Batman before. And I just grabbed Tommy's trusty pen and I was like, all right, let's fucking do this. And then when he showed me Billy's, because he showed me Billy's after I started, but when he showed me Billy's, I was like, it's beautifully drawn, but it's just Sharpie. And I was like, my Castillo-ness, my Castillo is just itching. So I ended up breaking out like the Copics and paint. I put like paint on it and I painted it with color and it was awesome.
And I forget, you also said before that, when I asked you, I'm like, well, how far are you going to go with it? And you're like, I'm only going to do the drawing.
Yeah. I'm only going to do the drawing.
And then I left and came back, and you're like, no.
I did more.
I have to do more.
I was like, I have to do more. I can't be outdone.
Oh, I asked you if you're going to add the green in the eye. And you're like, no, I'll just leave it as is.
And then I added the green. And then I added the blue and the red and shading. And
then sealed it all up with that spiral right from the eye.
Oh, yeah, the Tommy spiral. The spiral of insanity. Yeah. And then I went and showed it to Billy, and the guy that was working with him was like, when did Tommy do that? And I was like, I did it. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, 20 minutes ago. He's like, oh my God. And Billy went, damn, girl. It was really funny. But we are done. Finally. So Tommy had his name here, so I am going to put Tommy's name on here. The way he would have. And then I will put my name. There we go. Ta-da! As it's all curled up. There we go. What do we think, everyone?
Move it down. Yeah, right there.
What do we think?
Purple Mom said, Sammy, that turned out awesome.
Thank you. Job well done. So I'm going to be putting some stuff up on eBay. The little remarks that I have done, like the Joker, some other remarks that I'll be doing. I'll be throwing them up periodically. A couple originals actually came up for sale. There was a Wolverine and a dog or something. I'll be putting that up on eBay tomorrow as well. And that's about it. So thank you for joining me again. As always, I had a blast talking to you, everyone, and visiting with me, joining me in the studio. I will be doing this hopefully 3 days a week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think is, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. Doing not only this, but, next time I'll probably be designing the characters for my Sunday morning cartoon strip, The Adventures of Tommy, Ghost Tommy, it's actually The Adventures of Tommy and Sammy, but Ghost Tommy in the afterlife. And I think that's about it. So make sure, if you haven't already, you've joined our Facebook and all our fun social media. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can friend my Facebook, Tommy's Facebook, the fan page, whatever. And keep your eyes peeled for me doing more of these and throwing those up on eBay. Or if you see something that's on the Facebook page that's a sketch or a drawing that you'd like me to remark, just give me a contact. So I think that's it, right?
That's it.
All right, kids. So we are going to call it a night. I will be back probably on Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. So